Scattershot won't stop fighting until he's utterly spent, down to his last microjoule of energy and drop of energon. He also expects no less from the Technobots under his command. Even the tin-plated bucketheads that think he's a blustering buffoon must admit Scattershot is uniquely tough. The sort that others like Rollbar would say broke the mold he was poured into.
Alright, so here we're taking a look at the Technobot leader, Scattershot. Now, technically this is the second version of this character to come out, or the third if you're also counting the Dakara line. And yes, he is just a remold of Silverbolt, basically, with just a few details changed up for his vehicle mode. He has the same level of articulation. His arms can ratchet out and forward and back. Has a nice bicep swivel, elbow bend. His head can rotate around just a little bit better than Silverbolt's. I think it's because it's slightly smaller and a little bit slightly more cylindrical than Silverbolt's blocky head. He has no waist articulation, but his hips are on a nice solid ratchet, so you can move them out and to the side, forward, back. There's a nice thigh rotation right here, knee bend, and a little bit of an ankle tilt. Now, comparing him to the first Scattershot that came out in this line, you can see how different the paint scheme is. And in my opinion, yeah, I know I said I liked a lot of things from this guy here, especially the blue face, but I'm going to have to now change my mind, and I really like the paint job here. You can see that they really went the extra mile with this particular figure. I think that's because he came in a giant box combined with all the other guys, so yeah, you'd think they're definitely going to give a little bit more TLC to this guy. And I will say that the color scheme is a lot more G1 accurate. I wasn't able to find the Generation 1 Scattershot that I used to play with as a kid in time for this review, but I do remember this particular shade of purple and the reds all on that original figure. So yeah, this really takes me back to that original guy. That's not to say that this guy wasn't a bad figure, it's just this one is slightly superior. There's not really much else to say about his robot mode. I mean, it's exactly like the first Scattershot that I reviewed, and it's a lot like Silverbolt's as well. There's a few key differences, like I said, in his vehicle mode, so without further ado, let's go ahead and transform him into that. Alright, now to transform Scattershot is exactly the same as if you're going to transform Silverbolt. You're going to start off by moving the chest forward like so, and then moving his head all the way back around like this. Snapping it back into place, and move his arms out to the side so we can get actually to his legs. You're going to want to rotate each leg all the way around like so. And then flip this little panel up right here, and then take his feet, rotate them back around. Do that for this side as well. And then we're going to want to make sure that this little peg fits into that little slot right in there. So just rotate that all the way around. Make sure it fits right into place. There we go. There we go. Next up, we're going to take his arms and make sure that this little hinge fits right in that little nook right in there. There you go. Do that for both sides. Then we're going to want to bring his wings down and make sure that this little peg fits right in the slots of his arms right there. Make sure everything locks into place so it's sturdy. Take his nose cone, flip that all the way around like so. And then just bring the tail fin up like this, and there you go. Now you can actually bring this little area down right here for an extra landing gear, or you can do what I like to do and actually attach the gun underneath his nose cone, and that can actually act as another set of landing gear right there. And here he is. He's now in his vehicle mode, and he really lives up to the name of Scattershot, seeing how many guns are actually on this guy, especially compared to the original Silverbolt design. You have one gun up here at the tail fin, two on the sides of the wings right here, on the outskirts of the wings. You can maybe almost consider two guns right here, especially that they have little holes right in there. A huge gun right here for his nose cone, and then his standard weapon mounted right underneath his nose cone. So yeah, he's going to be shooting quite a lot of lasers or bullets at anything he wants to destroy or kill. I will say that I do like the color scheme still in this particular vehicle mode. The purple, the darker purple right here, really purplish red I should say, takes up most of the area, but the little bit of blood red I'm going to call it, and the white really help things out, and this little hint of blue really helps make those things stand out as well. Now sadly on mine, and I don't know if this is going to be with all of them or it's just something that happened with the factory, is you can see the cockpit right here is only painted on one side. I would like to see if others have that problem or if it's just mine. If that's the case, then that's kind of a bummer. There's not really much else to say about this guy. I mean, he is still a pretty impressive vehicle, especially considering how many guns he is. But let's go ahead and transform him into the chest of Computron next. Now, transform Scattershot here into the chest of Computron is pretty much the same as if you're going to transform the first Scattershot or even Superion. We're going to start off by moving the nose cone back like so. Fold the wings up, make sure that they kind of lock into place. They don't want to stay as much. I think that's mostly because this is just a remold of a remold of a remold, so yeah. Next we're going to move the arms up around like so, rotate them around. All right, move the hands out of the way. Next up, we're going to actually take the head, get that out of here. Make sure we flip it around to get that little notch right in that little slot right there. Might as well move the antennas up while we're at it. There you go. Move the chest forward on both sides. Then we're going to take the little panels right here so that we could attach the arms later. And there you go. Scattershot is now ready to form. Oh, almost forgot one thing. I always forget this one part. I want to fold this piece up like that. There we go. Now he's ready to form the chest of Computron. Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.